Resuming debate, reprise de débat, the member for Mississauga Streets Bill.
Madam Speaker, I'm proud to once again speak to Bill C-26. I'm confident in the beneficial impact it will have on the lives of hardworking Canadians. I would like to think of this bill as an investment in our future, an investment to ensure that Canadians who have worked hard all of their lives will be able to lead the lives they have always wanted when they retire. But more importantly, this bill is an investment in young Canadians and an investment in our future generations. With all 9 Canada Pension Plan participating provinces supporting this investment, it is well known that this investment is indeed necessary. By enhancing the Canada Pension Plan, we are enabling young Canadians to enter the workforce with confidence, knowing that when it comes time for them to retire, they can do so with a stable pension. Throughout my first year as the Member of Parliament, I've spoken with many young Canadians regarding a wide range of issues. As mentioned in my first speech to this bill, the issue of saving for retirement was consistently brought to my attention throughout these conversations. Even though they may be decades away from retirement, with fewer and fewer employers offering a workplace pension plan, young Canadians are very concerned they will not have enough for when they retire. A 2016 survey conducted by Franklin Templeton indicated that 70% of young Canadians say that retirement makes them anxious. In a 2016 poll conducted by the Globe and Mail, it was discovered that saving for retirement is the second most pressing concern for young Canadians. Why is this? It is because today's young Canadians have grown up in households where not saving enough for retirement has been a constant fear. These young Canadians see the approximately 1.1 million families currently facing the insurmountable fear for not having enough money saved to maintain their standard of living during their retirement. And they take on this fear before entering the workforce. It could be argued that due to the fact that Canadians are living longer lives, the fear of not saving enough for retirement is greater for young Canadians than it was for their parents, given that they know they have to save more for longer. Madam Speaker, it is hard for me to believe that in 2016, in our country, our young adults are facing such concerns. Young Canadians entering the workforce should feel they have their whole lives in front of them, because in reality, they do. However, currently these young Canadians are faced with the intimidating fear of not having enough money saved for retirement, something they should not worry about until much later in their lives. According to Statistics Canada, Canadians aged 34 and under currently account for 42.5% of Canada's population, and this is expected to increase over the next 15 and 25 years. This is a significant portion of our population that cannot be ignored. It is for this reason that an enhancement of the Canada Pension Plan is necessary. This bill is designed to address and ease their concerns. When speaking with young Canadians in my riding regarding this issue, I promised that I would be their advocate here in the House of Commons, and by standing here again in support of this bill, I know that I am fulfilling that promise. Now, switching gears a bit, Madam Speaker, the members opposite have raised the concerns that this bill does not benefit low-income Canadians as a result of the incremental increase in contributions. I would like to remind the members opposite that this bill will also provide an enhancement to the working income tax benefit, which will provide additional benefits that will ultimately offset the incremental increases in contributions. I would also like to remind the members opposite that the contributions to the enhanced portion of the Canada Pension Plan will be deductible. Now, Madam Speaker, I am well aware that the members opposite have brought forward other concerns about this bill. But I want to remind these members that this government was able to work with all 9 Canada Pension Plan participating provinces to an agreement on this enhancement. This demonstrates that this government is able to effectively work with the provinces. Therefore, I want to assure the members opposite that no matter what concerns they have, this government is able to work with the provinces to make adjustments and fix any problems that may arise in the future. This is something that will be discussed with the Minister as he meets the provinces next month. Madam Speaker, Like many members in this House, I come from a family who immigrated to Canada. My family, like every other, worked hard and made sacrifices so that their families and future generations wouldn't have to face the same struggles. Ultimately, they made these sacrifices in the hopes that their future generations will live a better life than they did. And in keeping with this concept, today, many Canadians who have worked hard all of their life are now in their later years, and they're struggling to make ends meet. Many of their employers did not provide a workplace pension plan, and the current Canada pension plan is not strong or stable enough for them to live comfortably. I can guarantee that the Canadians who are currently facing these struggles do not want their future generations facing the same struggles that they are currently facing. This government is working hard to ensure that this does not happen, by working with the provinces to reach an agreement and by being strong advocates during the debates in this House. This government is demonstrating its commitment to provide a better life for our country's future generations. Enhancing the Canada Pension Plan is an investment in our future, and I hope all members of this House feel the same way. Thank you.
Questions and comments? Questions et commentaires. The honourable member for Kingston and the Islands.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank my colleague in particular for bringing up young people as it relates to this particular piece of legislation we're discussing. We've heard a lot of commentary in particular from the opposition today about older individuals and seniors and how fewer of them require the changes that we're talking about today. But in reality, the objective of this legislation is really to affect generations from now. I'm curious, he talked a bit about when he was campaigning and talking to young people. Can he comment as to how many of those young people he talked to spoke of the fact that they had these employer pensions, and in particular, how this legislation can help them specifically?
A member for Mississauga-Streetsville.
I'd like to thank my colleague for the question. And actually, as I spoke to this bill previously, I had mentioned that I had gone to a lot of high schools and spoken with high school students, and a lot of them were concerned that the government was literally just burying their head in the sand and not addressing the fact that we have an aging population that's going to retire all at once, and they were really concerned that they'd have to incur that cost. So they were quite pleased to know that our government is actually taking these steps now instead of just punting it down the field. Thank you.
Comments, questions et commentaires. The honourable member for Kitchener-Conestoga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank my colleague for his comments. One of the comments he made was that their party is interested and concerned about the future of young people and jobs and all that sort of thing. But, Madam Speaker, it's clear that when you increase CPP premiums, it's actually going to reduce the number of jobs that are available. We've heard from many small business owners the fact that they will not be able to expand their workforce. They will not be able to make that new hire. In fact, they may actually end up laying off some of their current employees. So I fail to understand how we can square that circle of increasing CPP premiums, reducing jobs, and making it better for young people. Madam Speaker, Dan Kelly, the President and CEO of the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, said this, quote, "2/3 of small firms say they will have to freeze or cut salaries, and over 1/3 say they will have to reduce hours or jobs in their business in response to a CPP or QPP hike." Madam Speaker, how can this member actually believe that increasing CPP premiums will increase the number of jobs available for the young people that are graduating from the high schools he just mentioned? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Member for Mississauga-Streetsville.
I'd like to thank my colleague for the question. The increases are modest, but I'd like to match those words with the words of a previous member of the opposition. The late Jim Flaherty in 2010 said to do nothing would condemn Canadians to not have enough money for themselves when they retire. I am paraphrasing, but it is the opposition that actually acknowledged there is a CPP gap, but it was the opposition that failed to do something about it. So unlike their previous government, we've actually done it, we've worked with the provinces, and we got it right. Thank you very much.
Resuming debate, reprise de